Welcome, dear students. Today we'll be discussing on the topic post-colonialist theories. Now, as the paper that we are studying in MA final, that's related to post-colonialism, we must have a little bit an idea about what exactly post-colonial theory means and how it could be implied to the various texts that we will be studying in this paper. Now, post colonial theory is a body of thought primarily concerned with accounting for the economic, aesthetic, historical, and political and social impact of the European colonial rule around the world during the 18th century till the 20th century. So, in other words, we can say that the post colonial theory takes many different shapes and interventions, but all share a fundamental claim that the world we inhabit is impossible to understand except in relationship to the history of imperialism and colonial rule. And as we already know that India was a colony, of course, and the Britishers ruled it. So it's considered to be a colony. Now, this means that it is impossible to conceive of European philosophy, European literature, or European history as existing in the absence of Europe's colonial encounters and oppression around the world. So, in other words, it also suggests that colonized world stands at the forgotten center of global modernity. The prefix post of post colonial theory has been rigorously debated, but it has never implied that colonialism has ended. Indeed, much of post colonial theory is something which is concerned with the lingering forms of colonial authority after the formal end of the British Empire. So, other forms of post colonial theory are openly endeavoring to imagine a world after colonialism, but one which has yet to come into existence. So, we can say, in other words, that the post colonial theory emerged in the US and UK academics in the 1980s as a part of uh, the as a part of you can say a larger wave of new political fields of humanistic inquiry and most notably feminism and critical race theory. So we won't go into this matter of the UK and the US uh, in detail, but basically we have to understand at the grassroots level what exactly post-colonial theory implies or indicates. Now, no matter this theory has influenced the way we read text, the way we understand national and transnational histories, and the way we understand the political implications of our own knowledge as scholars. Still, frequent critics from outside the field, as well as within it, remains one of the key forms of critical humanistic interrogation, both academic and in the material world. Now, this has meant has taken multiple forms. It has been concerned with the forms of political and aesthetic representation. It has been committed to accounting for globalization, global modernity. It has also been invested in reimagining politics and ethics from underneath imperial power. So, an effort that remains committed to those who continue to suffer its effects, and it has been interested in perpetually discovering and theorizing new forms of human justice, from environmentalism to human rights. So, this the diverse aspects and the areas that the post-colonial theory contains. This is what exactly it tells about. Now, there have been ample of writers who've been talking about these theories, and their texts have been connected to and related to it. So, we will be continuing with this in the next class about how we could connect these texts with the theory, post-colonial theory. But in a general and a simplified way, we can say that this post-colonial theory is a body of thought which is basically and fundamentally concerned with the various aspects, whether you call about economic or historical or social, of the European colonial rule around the world. And we are only talking about the period between the 18th century till the 20th century. So, in other words, say that it also suggests that colonized world stands at the forgotten center of global modernity. That's all. We'll discuss further aspects of this theory in the next class. Thank you.